Good evening, good afternoon, evening, and good Shabbos to you all. Welcome to the Sheffield Jewish congregation. I'm in the foyer downstairs with the wall of the community behind me, and hope to enjoy spending a few moments with you. I can't see you, but you could see me, so I'm happy with that. And we will start with Mincha. So please join me. If you've got a regular siddur, it will be just look up the afternoon service for the weekdays, and we'll start with Ashrei. Ashrei Yashvei Beisecha Yahalalucha Sela Cholim Malvachek Malashem Poiseaches Yodecho must be Alacho Cherotzin Sadik Hadene Bechol Derach Bechose Bechumas Okarav Adonel Chokariv Choleshagravis Senyas Shema Adonai is going to have it's going to Shema Shmit Tiras Adonai Damet Pivi on a Gmas Hashem Kotchel and Van Vanachov Adonai Hallelujah. Baruch Ato Adonai Eloheinu v'leim v'seinu le'Avraham v'le'Yitzchak v'le'Yaakov v'le'Yaakov v'le'Yisrael eled yangei milchasadim tevim ke'Yaakov v'zechim chasav v'zmei v'gedim nev'nei l'mashmei b'yabo melech Yisrael v'Mashiach Baruch Ato Adonai Mogen Avraham Hataki Beiloi Madina Mahamis Matorab Leishia Hashavarok Medagesh Maham Khaz Mahamis Brahman Rabim Soy Mechnaif the very Bekhid Matira Suru came on also the Shan of Amich Mehamagus Midamach Melech Memisum Chaya Matsmiach Yishov them on Atala Mesim Rohatadoi Machaya Hamesim at the Kodesh Kodesh Volim Khazab Rohatadoi Ha'el HaKadesh Hatachene Lodan Das of Lamnesh bin Khanemit Khavedas Rohatadoi Khene Hadas Hashivei Nabin says Akbarbe Machin, Lavid is Akmasem is a Shuba, Shem of the Hatadinoi, Horaitse, it's a Shuba, Slak, Lanabin, Mechan, Mechanic, Kid of Zalhat, Borhatadinoi, Hanu, Namabel, Islayach, in a Manina, in the Mashmaka, Koska, Borhatadinoi, Gayed Israel. Feina the name of Yashin, the Shak is a not of Alia, Rokofush, Homakasenu, Kia, Merkefenem, Mavanaknot, Borhatadinoi, Refechele, Amma Israel. Ashiv of 10 question, even saying, Rakalina Adonai, Sashana says, he's coming to the table of Satan, Mother Racha, made up something with Vachos, and the Kashan, Racha, Kiel, they made him out of Hashani, Borhatadinoi, Mabare Hashanim. The Kabbalat Shabbat, God of the Chesed, and the Son of the Kabbalat Shabbat, and the Continue, had we have a conference, or the Satan Borhatadinoi, Mekabes Nitchi, Amma Yisroel, Hashiva Sheftin, and the Kabbalat Shabbat, and the was made in Gomenach, Lachlina, Hadonil, Batchabach, said the Barachami, and the Borhatadinoi. Melachai have to dock on me for the machine, Matisik, Vavahamin, Hazen, Khaliva, Hamakers, Machasoris, and Mizakis, Shambas Maget, Vesachni, Amim, Heaven, or Hatadinoi, Sheverevim, Umachni, Azidim, Alatzadik, Malachasik, Masin, Amavis, Sefem, Markets, and Yamah had an island of say, so other Rabbit, Mishavia, Sisakin, and Nevsky, Habatak, and Hatadinoi. Mishanu Miftach Latzadikim. Please let me have a contact of the Shabbat because of the Second Hatadinoi. Baine Yerushalayim. As it's some of the commerce with Hakati also with the Kalim Hatadinoi. Matsmiach Keren Yeshua. Shemakileno. Adino Yeleno Brachnakulin Kamerach was not so Senikesh met the second month of Nachmak and after Svenikiato Shemet with us. Hatadinoi Yesh Meat Fila. Let's Adonai Chasov is Rossum Shevot of Zakush Sos Rossmas Kabbalat Siros and Tamanaway Das Israel Amach of Zakazan and Mishuka that's Yamachim Baruch Hatadinoi Hamacha Zeshchinos let's see my demanach and Shadwadino Lehin Nelson and Sohin occasion all the Levitan of some to Pesach Al Kayen I'm sure that Havianish Messian I'm good as Achmazak with one man with Zakadevs with Sorim Hatay Blechach Mech I'm place on the Dakh Hakula Miso Sanshim making it when the Beckham Television shows and was said already Baruch Ato Adonai Hatay Shem Khalkhana Hayde Simsham Tayrach Khaim Khazak Khazak Kivai Panach and Sat Allah no Adonai Yelena Teres Hamas Khes the stock of Raham Shalom Tabernacle some Shabbalis of Shabbos and Mech Baruch Adonai Hamavarech Sam Yisrael Mashallah Oise, Sholem, Yemei, for Yasa Sholem. Shibon Misamigdash Mehem Mesecha Kede Beseda Secha. Aleinu Leshabeach Lahadoin Hakel. Says good yes, Shemish Tanchabin. Shondish Mami Yates does the Mishum Cousin Emes Wakin, Eves Losa Cocosa Besova, the Atem Shozaha Kalam Shaman Takosan, Wakin, the Kavel, the Hadinolin, the Nessus Halav Guludim. Sakin Aidamach, Shadam Neva, so Yekruish Machlav, the Sedecha Kalisho, Sakin, 7 kilo hot Yakobach, the Shavulos, and Finahadinolin. يخرج هذا الشغل يكتب مكابخول ما لا يسمى خساخ سنوات كما خشل خاهي ولا يبعث من خاص فسخ هذا الخلل من حمار وخيار لنا ملخ عقال هارس ما يوم هاوية هاتينا يخاد وشما يخاد. Now we go on the traditional songs that we sing before we begin the Rachadodi, which is Yedid Nefesh. It doesn't always appear in the right place, the place for us, that is. So I do have it in my art scroll. In your friendly neighborhood art scroll is page 590, and it's got Yedid Nefesh. You might also see it in one of the US benches and Shabbos accompanying book. So let's sing this together. Can I say, before I begin, that today is Holocaust Memorial Day. So, of course, we are remembering all of those who perished in the Holocaust, as is the national custom and international custom. And not just the Holocaust, but all those who perished in a variety of different genocides all over the world, as has been emphasized in all the places that I've been to. I did a service in Sheffield, did one in Rotherham, did one in Doncaster. And it is gratifying to see that people, most of them non-Jewish, gather together to commemorate and learn about these things, particularly the Holocaust, although the Holocaust is a standalone tragedy, unlike any of the other genocides mentioned. In addition to that, I'd like to make a personal mention. This is entirely my thought, to a student whose yahrzeit it is, who frequented our house, our home, some years ago. His name is David Min, Olav Shalom, David Adam Ben Eliezer, and Ben Chana Elke. He is the son of Helen and Elliot Min, and Sister Susan, Sister Haley, to whom we wish Arichas Shanim v'Shanim Teves, remembering David. Yedid nefesh avarachamon meshaych avdecha eretz oynecha yarutz avdecha kama hayal yishtachavel mol hadorecha Yerahav lo yedidai secha mino hefesu v'chol toam haduhu nohave ziv ha'olam nafshi chayala sahavasecha ana elena refahana hala v'ha'aretz lo noyam zivecha As tis chazek v'sis rahape v'hoy sahala sihim tasoylam v'sihik yamuna rachamecha v'chusana al beinahu v'cha Ki ze kamon nichsafti lehirais mehedam sifet esusecha yelecham libi v'chusana v'yaltis salam higalehena Ofreis chabivi halai yesu kashloi mecha Tahir eretz mikvaydecha nahakila v'nismechavach maher ehoiv kivahamoye Kimechaneinu Kime'olam. Did it lie, 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 did it die, 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 did it lie, 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 did it die, die, did it die, 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 did it lie, 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 did it lie, 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 did it lie, lie, did it lie, 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 did it die, die, lie, lie. Did it I lie 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 did it I lie did it I lie 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 did it I lie 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 did it I lie 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 ya ma 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 did it I lie 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 did it I lie 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 did it I lie 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 did it I lie 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 did it I lie 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 did it I lie 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 did it I lie did it I lie 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 did it I die 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 did it I lie 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 lie. If you'd like to find the Lachun Ranana, which is on page 308 of the Art Scroll Siddur. If you have the old singers, it's 142. If you have the newer one, it's 223. And whatever page is in the green one, I've forgotten what the page number is. But look for Kabbalat Shabbat, and you should find it. Please join me. Sing as loud as you can. I can't hear you, but I promise you the good Lord can. Lachun ranena ladoinoi narialetzu yishenu nekadma fonot besohoedo bismirais narialoi kiagoladne melkoda koda mashibiyodem nechrios besoyvesanu lashelayim. Habaim shana kod bedoim yaymaram toelevavim vehem la yadu derachoy. That's the bit where you come in. Asher nishpati v'yapi im yevayun el menuchati. That was very good. Shir uladnei shechoda shir uladnei kodesh shir uladnei melchadam sham sam shir uladnei mudamein neruha kolelihim ki kolehim melinim v'adonai shamayim asahei v'halal lefanai zesez moshe v'adonai shchesum v'adonai kamonai v'adonai kavishmei sumen chavei lechatzei shavisham v'adonai b'hadas chaydesh kim lefanai v'gamal v'yim v'gim Yes, b'chu hashamayim v'soged ha'oretz yiram ha'yam v'lo'yoy ya'aloi zesod hai v'chol asher boy yos yiranenu kol atzei yohar Lifnei Adonai kiva lishbait haaretz yishbait behel betzedek ve'amim be'emunasai Adonai malachta kedaris yisufim Heish lefan of teilech v'selahei saviv tzara ve'irav rachmetivu savatachel asamit You don't want to see them around Khalam Kaveda Yebush, go like they pass, Salamisan Valley, Mishakali, I call him, Shaman, his own Samuel, and Mash with the Hadley. Yada de Nelina Kalas, my Dale, Sakali. I have a other no, yes, in the Rosh, I made enough shades Hasida, me address Shaim Yatsile. Zaru ala tzadik Uli Yisrael evesimcha Simchu tzadikim badoy anoy Vehoidu lezecher kodshoy Mizma yeshiru ladinay shichodosh Keniflei soso shilay Neminizay Katzor Roch lav ze os hoy sho sel hinari la de konos ve zo men zo de mechine ze khase service ko shever me khadnai yerama yamom lo yo teve ve yeshve ba naharoy shimcha u khof ya khadarim yeraneinu lifnei Adonai kiva Lishbait haaretz, yishbait teibeh b'tzedek, v'yamim b'meshorim. Adonai malach yiguzam yeshev krom tanu zamadim mitzin gadol ramakalev. Yodel shemchol gadol melenu gadol shumayis b'elech mishpato gadol. Mishpat dog Yaakov Tosi Sori Madon in Shawad Maklav Kodesh Mishman of Kushmay Koid Emeladon of Yane Mamadom Idamelem Shemen Days of Shomay Days of Nasan Mahamai Adonai Leenu Atani Sam Melnoi say Hayisalahem Venoike Malali Loisam Raimabu Adonai Eloheinu Veishtachavu lahar kadashai Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. This one I really need you to join in. Mizmaila David Havuladonai b'nei elim, alalai. Havuladonai kavod v'yahos, alalai. Havuladonai kavod shemahoi, alalai. Hishtachavu ladavavavonai, v'hadras kodesh, alalai. Kol Adonai al hamoyim melakavodim Adonai mahayim rabim la Kol Adonai b'hakoyach la Kol Adonai b'hodor la Kol Adonai shover arasim, la Vaishaber Adonai yesarezei, halevahonai, la Vayakiden kemahoi, egel levanin vesirion kemoi venriyemim, Kol Adonai chahoetzei laham v'seish, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, la. Kol Adonai yachil Adonai midbar kodesh, la. Kol Adonai yachil elayalois, vayechsoif ye'aros, yovechalav v'kuloi, ya'imerekahavai, Alalai, Adonai lahamabol Yoshav v'yeshev Adonai melech li'olam Adonai ois li'amoye yitein Adonai yevarech es amoye b'shalom Hanu v'chayach yedorus yimechatan s'v'kamus v'chasam Volchem Tavrim Rachmesit Kos Chotam Golem Chazak Kadesh Mitzvah V'Nachon Ziyach Baruch Shem Kvem Mechosvet. Let us sing that wonderful poetic Kabbalistic song. Lecha Doidi Likras Kala Panei Shabbos Nekabla Lecha Doidi Likras Kala Panei Shabbos nekabela lecha doidi likras kala Panei Shabbos nekabela lecha shamoy bezachor bedibur rechot Hishmiyanu el hamyuchad, Adonai yechad, Ushma yechad, L'shem u'l'siferes v'lisirah, Lechad aydin likras kala, Pernei Shabbos nekabela, Lechad aydin likras kala, Pernei Shabbos nekabela, Likras Shabbos lechu v'nelcha, Ki hi mekar habracha, Meirosh mikendem nesucha, Say maseh b'machshavot tchila, Lechad aydin likras kala, Pernei Shabbos nekabela, Lechad aydin likras kala, Pernei Shabbos nekabela, Mikdash melech in melucha, Komitzei mitoich haficha, Rav loch sheves b'yemikabacha, V'hu yachmol ala yichena, Lechad aydin likras kala, Pernei Shabbos nekabela, Lechad aydin likras kala, Pernei Shabbos nekabela. His na'ari me'afar kumi, liv shibig de sifatei chami, ahal yad ben yishai beis halachmi, kovo nafshi geheyala, 2, 3, 4. Lechad aydin likras kahala, Pernei Shabbos nekabela, Lechad aydin likras kahala, Pernei Shabbos nekabela, Hisoreri, Akiva Eirech Kumi Eiri, Ori Shedam Beiri, Kevaidan Rayalayich Nihiga, Lechad aydin likras kala, Pernei Shabbos nekabela, Lechad aydin likras kala, Pernei Shabbos nekabela. Eloi say avoshim Eloi si kol mi mati shetoy chachi umatehemi bidididum bach yechesu ani yahabi v'nivnesa yirahalti hila didididam bam lechad aydin likras kala, Pernei Shabbos nekabla, V'hoyulim shisa shohesayich v'rachaku kol mevalayich yasis alayich helehayich gihimsais chahasan al kahala, Lechad aydin likras kala, Pernei Shabbos nekabla, Yamin usmail ti ifraitzi v'es Adonai taharitzi al yadi yish behen parsi v'nismecha v'nagila lechad aydin likras kala, Pernei Shabbos nekabela. This is as far as the Chief Rabbi says we should go, because we're still on the Zoom, or whatever you call it. So I'll just leave you with a thought, because I've attended 3 Holocaust services, participated in the 3 Holocaust Memorial Service for HMD, and where's the positive message out of all of this? How can we find something meaningful that we live with from all of this? And I like to put forward to you the following idea, which I heard from another rabbi going back nearly 40 years ago, and his name is Rabbi Beryl Wine. I'm not quite sure where he is, and I think he lives somewhere in Israel. But he came to Manchester, England to speak, and this is what he said. Because you see, this week's Seder talks about Moses and his final coup de grace with the the last plagues and getting those Jews out of Egypt. And for the first time in 210 years, the Jews are now a free people. Can you imagine? That was a great celebration. And we all know the story of Passover, and how it all is meaningful. It's the start of us as a people. And his name was Moses. Who gave him that name? The daughter of Pharaoh, Bitya. She's referred to as the daughter of Pharaoh in the book of Chronicles. She saw him floating down in what was the first ever Moses basket. And she drew him from the water. And ki min hamayim mishitiu, I drew you, because he was drawn from the water. She drew him from the water. The word Moshe has in it the root of drawing from the water. Now, he was actually a baby 3 months old. Now, why was he not called by his other names? He must have had names for the first 3 months of his life. One of his Jewish parents, Amram, Yocheved, they must have given him names. I know they gave him names because the Medrash tells us he had a list of 10 names. You think the royal family's got a long list of names? Forget about that. Gavaldi. The Moshe Rabbeinu had 10 names. And so Moshe is the one given to him not by his Jewish parents, but by the Egyptian princess. A wonderful woman, no complaints. She drew him out of the water. But, it's, you called your child something and then somebody else calls him a different name. And that's the only one that the Torah refers to him by. So why does the Torah never, ever refer to him by any other name? Tuvia, I forget the list of names. It's gone up my head. But never refers to him by any of those names, only by the name given to him by this Egyptian princess. And I heard this idea from Rabbi Beryl Wine. And he says as follows. He visited the Holocaust Memorial in Israel, in Yad Vashem. And there's one for the children, which back then was, I don't know what it is now, I haven't been there a long time. It was a very dark room with light reflected off many, many surfaces and a repetition of names, a tape playing, a recording playing of all names. Chaim Yankel, Ben Shlomo Hetzel, Tzvi Yitzchok, Ben Aaron David, the names of people who'd lived, children who'd been born and had died in the Holocaust, and they were being commemorated in this recording. And this Rabbi Wine says, I was listening to this recording. I was thinking, this one died in 1945, this one died in 1946. So around about the time when I was a youngster, my names are not on that recording. And he said, well, the simple answer to that is because he's born and brought up in the United States. I think he was born in Chicago. So, of course, he's nowhere near where the Holocaust is taking place. He said, that's the meaning. There are those babies who were thrown in the river Nile in the days of Moses. The Egyptians used to come round, and they knew every woman who was pregnant there, and they knew when she was destined to give birth. They worked it out, and they came round checking. As soon as a baby boy was born, into the Nile it was thrown. There was a Holocaust of children taking place in Egypt, and all the boys were being thrown in the river. Moses was also thrown in the river, but he was drawn from the river. He made it out of the cauldron, not of fire, but of water, the grave of a watery grave. And so the Torah says, forget what you've been called till now. I want you to remember, you survived. These people didn't. If you survived, make something of your life. And he did, not immediately. But when he was 80 years old, he had a career change. Instead of looking after sheep, he's looking after Jews. And looking after sheep is a lot easier than looking after Jews. Because everybody is a Moses. Everybody considers themselves a leader, because that's what a Jew has the capability of. Now, the Torah is constantly reminding him, your name is Moshe. Remember, you survived. And I believe that's a message that we can take with us. We are alive today. As King Solomon says, let the living take this to heart. Those that died in a horrible way, and we're never going to forget that. But let's not forget, while I'm here and I'm alive, I woke up this morning, that means that God still wants me in his world. He still wants me to do something. What am I doing about it? And I constantly remind myself that let us fill in the gaps missing from 6 million Jews who didn't do what they could. And what's the point of being Jewish? To do Jewish things, to be a good person. We don't have copyright on being Jewish, on being good. Other nations can be good as well. But we have to do Jewish things. The question is, what Jewish thing have I done today? That is the message I believe we can extract from the Holocaust. Yes, this is a terrible thing that's happened, but what can I do to replace? What can I do to make it better? I'm not talking about another memorial. I'm talking about the things that these Jews didn't survive, were not able to fulfill. Can I do something? Can I add a bit of goodness and kindness to the world? Because if I'm here, clearly God still wants me. That is my thought for this evening. Have a very good Shabbos wherever you are. You are creating a little sanctuary, a tabernacle of goodness wherever you're davening or saying a bracha or making kiddush or having a mot, whatever it is. If all you did was think a Jewish thought for half a second, you've done something. You've brought the Shekhinah to your area. Have a very good Shabbos. And I don't know how this thing turns off, but I'll sign off now. Be well, be gesund, and keep smiling always.